This last one gets complex, but I want you to watch it and try it. I'm only going to check you off for level 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to be on your own. But I do want you to try this one because I think it's important that you see how using the basic concepts we've already shown can help you get to higher and higher levels of complexity and hopefully a more fun hand slapper. Because remember, our object is to make a hand slapper that will beat the competition because right now the hand slapping company is losing money. So let's go over to slap 4. And this one is kind of wacky if you look at it at first, but you guys are getting really good at this, so I think you're going to understand it pretty easily. First, let's move it to the middle. The program always defaults to having things on the edge, which is kind of annoying. And then let's blow it back up. Move it a little bit over. And one more maximization. Okay, I'm not going to recreate this one because I think you've seen that process. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go through it one at a time. So the first thing is over here we have the start arrow, which is our triangle, which is a little bit off the page, but you know that. I initialized 2 variables this time. One I initialized for speed, and you guys have seen that work. You've seen my speed increase in level 2. But I also initialized a variable called distance, and I started it at 160. I might have been able to start it at 0 to be consistent, but I couldn't figure out how to do that when I was making the program this summer. So let's show you what happens as we go through this program. I read from speed, which remember was 0. I write that to a math block, and this is the same thing that we've done before, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm adding 20 to it, and I'm writing that to speed, so speed is now 20. Now with the distance block, I'm reading that, and I'm subtracting 20 from it. A little complex, I know. That's okay. You can always just watch these lines slowly to make sure you understand where things are going. And so 160 minus 20 will be 140. When you push the button, this wire goes down here. If you write a program that's really long, you can just start a second line and you just move a wire like this to that second line. We are now going to read speed, and if you watch this yellow line carefully, the speed is what we are slapping down at. We're reading the distance, which was 160 minus 20 for 140. And look, we take that, we go over here. That is how far we are slapping down, 140 degrees. But look, we take that same 140, we're adding an extra math block, and we're subtracting 20 from it. 140 minus 20 is 120. So this time when we come back up, I come back up slowly, we are only coming up 120. So the next time we go through this loop, because if you watch this wire, it goes over to the loop next. The next time we go through this loop, speed is now at 20. We add the speed to it. And we write it again, so speed is now 40. The distance is now, yikes, 140 minus 20. So we are now going down 120 because we don't want to hit the ground. We still just want to hit the hand, push the button, read the speed, read the distance, go down 120, which is fine because we only came up 140 before. Now subtract 20 from that 120. We're now only going back up 100. So we're much closer to the hand. So there's going to be a lot less time to get your hand out of the way. And then it lifts back up. It does it again. Each time it goes through, it gets faster, but it doesn't go back up to the starting position. It goes back up 20 degrees less each time. So we increase the speed by 20, but we get closer by 20. So each time we run through this, we're slapping that hand just a little bit quicker and a little bit closer each and every time. Okay, I know this one is complex. It is a lot to follow when this is new, but I want you to understand the logic of it. We're using 2 variables, which are changing numbers, to change the speed and the distance each time to make sure that it's harder and harder to get your hand away. Excuse me. That shows that the videos I'm loading, slap 1, 2, and 3, just got onto YouTube. Sorry about that. Okay, like I said, try this one out. If you can't get it, that's okay. If you can get it, that's great. All right, show it to me. I'd be really happy to see what you can do.